Yeah. Huh?
What's up,
Oh, there we
everybody?
go.
There we are. Hey, we're trying some new stuff out today. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Shawn and Lacey here with you, and we are live.
Are we alive or just live?
We're just
We're
live.
just
We're
live.
just live right now. Long day, busy day, a lot of stuff going on, but that's okay.
It is.
How many people we got watching? I can't tell anymore. We have
We
like a small
got
group,
no,
13
no,
people.
18 already.
18
See,
people,
you
oh,
gotta
five extra
proclaim it.
people. What's up, all of y'all? Welcome to Shawn and Lacey Live. Skipped last week. We'll see how that goes. See if it drives our numbers down to small, tiny numbers.
That means more
We're giving
money,
away
more
$300
opportunity.
tonight to you guys. Call your friends. You know what to do. We're here live on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give us a like. Make sure that you tell your friends. Share tonight's transmission with the world. Shawn and Lacey are here with you. We're talking about how to challenge yourself. You know that you need this new. I don't even know. Everything is new for us. Like the screen is new. Everything I'm looking at is new. Hopefully you guys don't really know that it's new, but yes, everything is new. Like, subscribe, see that? New, see that right there? New. Everything is new today.
I have to say before we do announcements,
Yeah.
because Ted Vicky is in Hawaii
Hawaii.
and he is live streaming right now, and so there's other
Oh.
people around him watching. But
Oh, hey,
this is
sweet.
it.
What's
This
up,
is a
Ted
great.
Vicky in Hawaii?
This is a great way, a great start to the conversation, because I have been deep in creating a sales page, a landing page for something that we have coming up. I
All
guess this
day
is an
long.
announcement.
All day
It's
long.
called Resiliency Camp, and
Yeah.
I think that for all of us out there, no matter what you do, whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, work from home, work for someone, there's times in our life when we are truly tested, right?
You're being
Where
tested right
I'm
now.
I'm being tested with all this new stuff, clearly. But there's times in our lives where we're truly tested and we're like stretched and pulled in so many directions, and like our energy is tested, our stress levels are tested, our creativity is tested, and it's all about how you can bounce back and work through those moments that makes you resilient. And so I love what we're doing with Resiliency Camp. I'm super excited about it, but I know that a lot of people listening right now on the live have had moments like that, right? Like, can somebody tell me you've been there before?
I think I saw Amy Spolstra on there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I just used this line on Amy literally minutes ago. Today, if you are a part of the Book Yourself Solid 5-day challenge, we had a very surprise guest. Michael Port dropped in and spent the entire hour with us working through personal brand identity. I got to tell you, what a bummer if you missed it, because boy, oh boy, was it absolute gold. Michael was on fire today in the Book Yourself Solid 5-day challenge. We didn't announce it because you know how we go. We don't want you like saying, "Oh, I'll only do it if Michael's there."
I
Like,
only
what am
do
I,
it on a Wednesday.
I'm chopped liver? You don't want to come and see me? Then okay, well, you just don't get to know who my cool friends are. Michael was killing it today, and one of the things he told this story, and he said that he really admires Steve Martin. A lot of people might not know who that is. Comedian.
Oh my
He
gosh, I hope
shared
people know
that
who
a
that
lot of people
is.
might not. Like
Uh-huh.
he shared that Steve Martin was the first comedian to sell out stadiums, and this was done pre social media. So just on pure popularity, not like
Right.
ads and like so selling out these big stadiums. But he was sharing a story of early Steve Martin when he was just getting his start, and he was working. And I'll just hit you the highlights. Michael did a great job. You know, Michael's a storyteller.
Yep.
And he was saying that Steve Martin had broken up with his girlfriend, and he was feeling in the dumps. And he was sitting there, and one of the guys came by, very respected guy, came by and was like, "What's the matter with you?" And Steve said, "Well, man, I got dumped by my girlfriend. My girlfriend left me."
Okay.
The guy looked at him and said, "Yep, that'll happen," and walked away. And he said, what happened is Steve Martin realized, he said, "You know what? I realized, like, this is someone that I look up to and I respect." And he was like, "Yep, that'll happen."
Right.
Meaning that it's happened to him.
Right.
And it probably will happen to Steve Martin again.
And it's happened a million times to a million other people.
And so Michael was talking about rejection and how much fear we have around rejection. And he was sharing that, listen, we all get rejected every day.
All the time.
Every day.
Yeah.
Did you get rejected today?
Of course.
We all get rejected every day. I might have
rejected myself today trying to build out this landing page.
That'll happen. That'll happen. We make mistakes. Hey, man, that'll happen. You're going to tell jokes that nobody laughs at. You're going to make pitches that nobody wants. You're going to offer to close a client and that client's not going to close.
You're going to invite a friend to lunch and they're going to say no, right? There's different magnitudes of rejection for sure.
Maybe we should change it to the That'll Happen challenge. That'll happen. Yeah. Well, I was getting to our producer.
Okay.
Who do people think is the producer?
Who do y'all think the producer is tonight, friends? Who would you guess is behind the camera this evening?
Yeah, we're gonna have to slow our roll on the guest the producer pretty
soon.
I
know, pretty soon. There's only going to be a couple producers. Oh, it's quiet. They don't like how quiet it is there, producer.
Yeah, no sound effects.
No
today?
sound effects. I told you, no, it's nothing. It's like new.
It's new. Maybe they're.
Is there sound effects?
Can the can we even do with the new format? Can we even bring the producer up? We can. I don't see the producer. I don't know.
Okay, maybe well, yeah.
Oh, there he is.
What's going on? New that we're testing out. There's only one person that's going to be behind the camera.
Producer James Lewis, everybody. Shout out James. James got some cool shout outs. We did an interview today with Jesse Ray on Growth House podcast. Shouted out James.
James Lewis. Shout out to James Lewis.
James Lewis. You got so you're coming back. First of all, I want to shout out James Lewis. I mean, incredible job because James was under the gun last week. We were at SoFi. Yeah. At SoFi Stadium. I see Chris Helms and Jeannie Helms on their live talking about their experience interviewing Jay Abraham. So if you guys don't know, talking about resiliency, bouncing back, etc. Chris and Jeannie, they love Jay. Yeah. They've told me a million times I love Jay. So I called him up and I was like, hey man, I got Jay. Jay's coming to SoFi. He's coming on the podcast. You guys need to fly out. They had to switch some things around. They were like, okay, switch some things around. Chris was a little bit nervous meeting Jay, right?
Chris.
You had to do something. So I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I called Chris in as my co-host. When that episode drops, Chris Helms and Sean Dill interviewing Jay Abraham. We always say it. You got to show up. We're in the corner.
That's what I was going to say. That's what we always say. You just got to show up. We talked about that today on the podcast. Like half the battle in creating and deepening relationships is just showing up, right?
And maybe even more than half the battle. Podcast guests coming down. I don't know though, like James, like I think we're like backed up like 40 weeks in the podcast. We might have to start going to 2 a week.
I feel like he's been dropping like 2 a week, but no, it's
like
good.
Tons of podcasts dropping. Space. Yeah, tons of space. And then from there we went to Las Vegas. More amazing interviews, crazy great interviews, and then James started his run of UFC 306. Working with us, of course, because got to
look at him light up. He liked that part.
And doing tons of behind the scenes VIP filming with Michael Chandler. One of the cool things is that Michael had asked us to sit down with him on Friday morning. We sat down just in a corner of the sports book there at Resorts World, very quiet. Sat down and had a deep, in-depth conversation about what's next. And he was very trusting because he dropped what he was doing next. I said, man, you trust us to keep this under wraps? You trust James Lewis? I'm like, yeah, I trust you guys. And then James, I want to just shout out James because James was able to spin that around. Now, surprise, Dana White goes ahead and announces that Michael is not fighting Conor and then drops, boom. Instead, he's fighting Charles Oliveira. James was quick to the punch. He had that clip turned around right out. Right now, I think that clip is sitting at 360,000 views on Instagram. Then James dropped another one. I think that's at 320,000 views. I want to know,
though, like simple ways to effectively challenge yourself. Not that that was a challenge for you, James. It was a challenge. But like, it was definitely different and a different pace, a different clip, different type of capture than even you probably normally do with us. So like, what was your big lesson or takeaway from that?
Yeah, appreciate the shout outs from Jesse, from you guys, from Michael. It was a lot of fun last week, and it was a challenge. It was different, but I like that. I like stuff to stimulate my brain and just kind of get the juices flowing. I think the most challenging part was being able to plan ahead while still doing things in the moment. And so while we've done SoFi Stadium a handful of times, that was the second time we did Vegas.
Mm.
So the familiarity was something that allowed me to get kind of my processes down and know what I needed to do, how much time I needed to have, but also thinking ahead of like later in the week, what do I want to do with Michael? What's the plan going to be with Michael? What stuff does he have? Half the time he didn't really know what he was doing or what he
Right.
wanted to do. So just trying to think ahead while also doing things in the moment was the most challenging part. But Michael is so good with content. He's really an amazing person just in general, but then when it comes to working with him from like a content perspective, he's really easy around the camera. He likes to show his personality a little bit. We even have some content of him behind the bar at one of the bars in what was that, Mandalay Bay, giving out shots of hiatus, and that was not planned
Yeah,
at
that was
all.
fun too.
So I'm not sure who had the most fun with that. Me, Michael, you guys, or the people getting the free shots. I'm not sure.
I'm sure it was the people getting the free shots for sure, but um, yeah, and
So it
it's
was
funny
fun.
because we went to dinner last night with Dave Steck, one of our mentors, and he always is just dropping gold nuggets, gold bars, not even nuggets, gold bars all the time when you're with him. And one of my most favorite lines from him, a lot of you have heard this before, is comfort is the silent thief. And really, like, when you're in a comfortable spot, it really does steal your creativity, right? And so
Mhm.
I love, like, what you said about that, James, is when you challenge yourself, it really does get those creative juices flowing because it is different, it is unique, it does push you outside of your limits in the box. And so that is a very simple way to challenge yourself, is like just doing something that's uncomfortable, thinking of it that way, then versus something that's like so drastically different or tough. Just something that's uncomfortable, right?
I want to encourage everyone too to go check out James's handiwork. I don't know how many of you have seen. We didn't really drop it as a None of Your Business episode, but there's the full interview, the full conversation
Mm,
between Michael and I. It's amazing. It's really it goes deep. We talk about the mindset and the thought process behind taking the Connor fight, behind quote losing the Connor fight, behind why he decided to move on, taking the Oliveira fight. I asked him to replay in his mind how that Connor fight would have gone off.
mm.
I mean, was there any other stuff we talked about, James, in there?
Yeah, I mean, his story to get to where he is,
Yep.
that was kind of the beginning of it. And then, yeah, talking about the Connor fight, why he chose to. Well, one of the main things that I took away, and he mentioned it multiple times throughout the weekend, was betting on yourself.
Yep.
Mm,
And people in the UFC, probably some of his friends, family, colleagues, were saying, "Dude, why are you taking this other fight? Or you should wait." And he said a lot of fighters in the UFC would wait a long time, 5 years, if their name was next to Conor McGregor. And so he decided, obviously, to bet on himself and take this other fight. And so there's a risk, but he's willing to make that risk, and hopefully he'll turn into a huge reward later on.
I love it.
Well, that time with Michael is what spurred one of our announcements, right?
Well, yeah, let's jam through our announcements.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the last. Let me put the Michael announcement last, James. Let's jam through the other ones, and then we'll give you some content.
let's do it.
All
What
right.
do we got?
Oh my. We have less than 10 seats, folks. Less than 10 seats for Reach More People, November 8th and 9th. A lot of people are asking, like, what is it? Well, Lacey and I are literally going to hold your hand, literally hold your hand, help you to create your 2025 marketing plan. Look, if you're right now like thinking, like, what are we going to do?
2025.
What
That's
are we
so
going to do in
crazy, y'all.
October? What are we going to do in November? Like, if you're thinking that you didn't have a 2024 marketing plan, well, let's create your entire plan for 2025 together.
No more reactive marketing. We're going to only have proactive marketing.
Small group, small group at Nobu in Miami Beach. So an exquisite setting, an exquisite environment, the perfect environment for you and I and Lacey to create your 2025 marketing plan. It's not just creating it. Maybe you're thinking like, well, I could create it. Well, we're going to walk you through what's worked for us, what has not worked for us, what we've learned, and what we have in queue to test, to try, and invite you to come along on that journey. Listen, if you're starting to feel that squeeze, which I know a lot of you are, you need to be at Reach More People November 8th and 9th, Miami Beach, Florida, Nobu Hotel. You must reach out to Natalie at blackdiamondclub.com, NATHALIE. Get your invitation. She'll talk to you, make sure it's the right fit, make sure that everything is good, get you signed up if it is the right fit. Listen, folks, this isn't that, you see all those guys like, oh, we're sold out. Oh, just kidding. We have less than 10 seats in that room. We've never marketed this openly. There's no links to sign up. We haven't sent any emails out there. You have to sign up. Reach more people. You have to reach out to Natalie. That's how you get in. We're going smaller, more exclusive, better, high touch, high experience, high result. We only want to work with those of you that are like, I'm creating my marketing plan. Next, we have.
What do we got? Ooh.
Oh, we're going back to SoFi Stadium. I just said Chris Helms got to not just meet, but actually interview with me, Jay Abraham, somebody that he super looks up to. I can't make any promises, but I don't know who you want to meet or who you want to see, but why would you just wait? Like, I'm going to wait until they say, because we don't tell all the people who are coming. In fact, there's tons of people that came on that day that we didn't know were coming, that showed up. James didn't even mention. This is how crazy that week was. how we had lunch with Forrest Griffin.
Oh yeah, he's such a nice
Forrest
guy
was telling
too.
us about the different kinds of knockouts that there are, and we were talking about that slapping thing, what's that called?
Power slap.
Power slap.
Yeah.
Having lunch with Forrest Griffin just got swept over in all of the hoopla from last week. You never know who's going to be at these. If you'd like to accompany us to SoFi, you just got to get yourself to SoFi. You hang out with us, hang out in the green room, make connections, meet really interesting people, create relationships. Just like I said with Chris, Lacey and I are on your side. We're going to make sure that you get the connections and relationships. We're not just there like as prima donnas. We're there to make sure that you get the relationships and the connections that you need and you want. What's next?
Crew 52.
Well, come on now.
The week.
Aaron O'Connor.
Aaron
Anyone
and Paul
better
are always
than Aaron
on.
O'Connor, who's on every week. She wants us. She's got so many things. So she's got a lot of things.
And we see Paul is always on.
Blue
too.
Wrench Paul is always on. But Aaron's got so many things going on. She does so much good for humanity. And she said,
she does.
I want you guys to talk about farm to bowl. And I love this concept. Listen, a lot of people get around Aaron and you just think like, oh, she's this animal chiropractor helper person. And you don't even realize she has like a legit pet food business, farm to bowl, healthy food for your pets. Stop giving them that dry nonsense, like eating Uncrustables
I gotta say,
all day long.
Y'all know how much I love Dexter, little dinky. Little Yorkie. He's always on my lap, or 90% of the time he's on my lap when we do these lives. He is now 12 years old. And every time people see him for the first time, they think he's a puppy. Oh, little baby dog, little puppy. How old is he? And I say, he's 12. And they're like, no way. Part of the reason that he is so young, I 100% believe it, is that he eats raw food. And that's literally Aaron's raw food for dogs and cats is not outsourced. Like, they control it. It's super, super clean. Like, it's an unbelievable thing that you can do, an easy thing that you can do for your pets. So like, if you're like, I want to give my pet a healthier diet, check out Farm to Bowl. Like, I guarantee you're going to have pets that live long, happy, healthy lives by just making that small switch.
Hit that QR code, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Get some healthy food for your pet. Stop giving them all that nasty stuff you've been feeding them. You always are down there at Whole Foods buying that organic food.
Get rid of the allergies.
I think
get rid of the bad coats.
Your pet deserves the same.
Yes. Sometimes your pet deserves better.
They don't deserve better.
Sometimes they get better.
They deserve
okay?
the same.
They get better.
They deserve
we
the
all know
same.
it. We We're all guilty
They
of it.
deserve the same.
What do we got next?
So we do the next announcement.
Lastly, the resiliency camp.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey, folks, we're here to announce to you Resiliency Camp. I'm going to explain to you what it is, how it came about, how it works, and we're going to invite you to be a part of it. It's absolutely free to participate in, but for some of you, there will be a paid component. Everybody who's doing it, but you got to do it to jump in the paid component.
But
you
you
just
can
like cheat
can
and
also
come in at the end. You can buy your way.
do it for free.
Do it for free.
We have a free like camp.
Absolutely free.
Yeah, this is
the whole
super
thing is
cool.
free, but some of you are going to
You have
choose
an opportunity
to go with us November 16th to Madison Square Garden to watch the John Jones Stipe Miocic main event, co-main event. Your boy Michael Chandler taking on Charles Oliveira. We're also going to host a mastermind event on Friday, a VIP dinner on Friday, and then Saturday we're rolling in the Madison Square Garden to watch Michael stake his claim to get in line for the title shot. Next up, Islam Makhachev. First, we got to get through Charles Oliveira. I know you want to be a part of that. I know you do. All right, let me tell you how this all came about.
Yep.
James was there.
I was not, but I get to put it into action.
Yeah, you're putting it into action for us. Everybody, very thankful for your work, Lacey. So last Friday night, we were all hanging out at Resorts World, having a grand old time. It was fantastic. Speaking of showing up, me and 5 other BDC members off to Las Vegas to witness UFC 306 at the Sphere. They were like, hey, man, I want to get in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So they jumped that opportunity, snatched up those tickets. Well, getting in the room also involved them hanging out with Michael Chandler on Friday night. The whole evening, we had a private space out there on the back patio at Resorts World. We're hanging out, having a great time. And Michael's friend, James Randolph, came up to me and was like, I've known James for a couple years now. He says, Shawn, you know that every year when Michael goes to camp, I do camp with him. I was like, what do you mean you do camp with him? He's like, no, like I just participate in the discipline so that Michael doesn't feel alone. Like that at least he knows that there's other people out there.
Just to be clear, not the exact same discipline, right?
No, discipline, not
just so everybody.
We'll come to that. So that Michael knows that he's not alone. And then James said, you should do that. And my initial reaction was like, no way. In fact, what I did is I told you I went through my calendar in my head, and I was like, oh, I got this, I got that. Like, I'm not doing that. I didn't say that out loud. And then I thought to myself, like, why so much resistance?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I so resistant to that? Like, I love Michael. That's my friend. I love James Randolph. I love James Lewis too. James Randolph, who's asking me to do this. I like these guys. Like, why am I so resistant to it? And so then I was like, how long is it? And he's like, it's 8 weeks long. And I was like, 8 weeks, that's 60 days. And I tell you this on a lot of things. Tell you this, like when I get in the cold, I can do anything for 3 minutes.
That's right.
And I looked at James and I said, all right, I'll do it. I can do anything for 60 days. I can do anything. I could eat sugar for 60 days. I could eat meat only for 60 days. I could drink water for 60 days. That'd be shrunken down, but
yeah,
I could do anything for 60 days. So then I went home and I was like, look, but here's the thing. Like you said, what doesn't even make any sense. I'm not going to be like sparring, doing 2 a days. That's actually not the point. I was like, well, the point of it is that we are participating in solidarity with a man who's going to go in for the fight of his life against another man. And it's going to require a lot of discipline, support, etc. And so I was like, here's what I want to do is I'm going to create a resiliency camp, a camp where we will build a resilient mind, a resilient body, and a resilient spirit. And so I was like, look, it doesn't matter. I'm 52 years old. I'm not going to do the same workout that a 30-year-old is going to do. So I'm not going to say like, look, here's what we're going to do is we're going to run 10 miles a day. I'm not going to say that. But I am going to say that we want to build a resilient body. And so you need to figure out what that means to you. We are going to build a resilient mind. So that means that you want to sharpen your mind in the area in which you participate. Yeah, I'm sure that Michael studies film, studies how to get better at his craft.
He might meditate. He
So
might.
yeah, you might
Yeah.
want to read books, you might want to take a course, but again, you have to decide what that means to you. And then a resilient spirit. You want to reconnect to your spirituality. I think if you're going to go into an octagon and they're going to lock the cage and there's another guy in there who's literally been like, yeah, 8 weeks I've been preparing to kill you, you better be pretty connected to your spiritual side. But again, I don't care what religion you are, or even if you practice a religion, you decide what that means to you. And here's what we've designed is an 8-week
You
process.
forgot one piece. There's 4 pillars.
I think, yeah, I know. What we've designed is an 8-week
Okay.
process through which you will walk through this. But here's the most important part. And people don't talk about this. And I know there's a lot of challenges out there. And today's discussion is simple ways to effectively challenge yourself. But a lot of challenges, the reason why they don't work is because we're human and we fail. You do a book yourself solid 5-day challenge, you miss Wednesday, bummer, you miss Michael Port. Oh, I failed. It doesn't feel good to fail. When I first met Michael Chandler, he wanted to speak at Money Matters. And I asked him, well, what are you going to speak about? He says, I'm going to talk about how I went 680 plus straight days without winning a fight. I was like, what? Dang. One, I didn't know that. Two, that's powerful. He says, yeah, because like when you start to lose, you lose that first fight. He was undefeated, lost his first fight. You go into a shell, right? You're like, I don't want to talk to anybody. You have all been there. You've all been there. Then you lose that second fight. You start to question yourself. You start to like, oh, it's my coach's fault, right? We've been there, right? You start to question everything. You lose that third fight. Like, you start to question who you are as an individual. And Michael said one of the things that he realized is that in order to fail effectively, you have to face failure in order to take the power away from the failure. So the fourth part is accountability. We're going to create accountability for you where you're going to select your resilient body exercises, your resilient disciplines, your resilient mind disciplines, your resilient spirit disciplines. You're going to share that publicly. And here's the most important part of the entire resiliency camp is you're going to mess up. And rather than having to start over, being kicked out, being punished, you're just going to face failure in the face and you're going to be like, hey guys, so yesterday I know I wasn't supposed to eat sugar. And yesterday I had a banana split. And here's what I'm doing. I ate the banana split and I'm getting right back. Rather than eat a banana split again today, because that was so good, I'm getting right back on the discipline because you're going to have setbacks over this next 8 weeks. That's a given. And we want to teach you how to become resilient in mind, resilient in body, and resilient in spirit. You're going to have setbacks in all 3 areas. You're going to miss a workout, or a workout's not going to go as planned. You're going to miss a day reading, or you're not going to read as much as you wanted to, or you got too busy and you didn't get it in. You're going to miss a meditation. You're going to miss a recovery. You're going to slip up. And so rather than us all acting like we're perfect, and rather than us reporting into Michael that we're perfect, we're going to stand in solidarity and say, listen, we're trying our best. And that's all you could do is try your best. We're going to ask people that want to try their best for an 8-week run along with me. I'm going to do it. We're going to try our best. And then we're going to celebrate Madison Square Garden watching Michael try his best.
For those that want to take that opportunity.
For those that want, well, you can even just stay home and watch it on TV.
Course.
I'm sure there's probably some streaming channels. I don't have any links, but
the
I'm
great
sure there's
thing
some
is
channels.
it's not date sensitive. You can
Not date
start
sensitive.
anytime you want. You can start tomorrow. I'm working until the wee hours of the night to just get the sign up stuff ready. It actually is potentially ready right now. And then you can sign up and just get started. We're also going to support you with just some inspirational texts every single morning, just a little bump to remind you and hold you a little extra accountable, and hopefully give you throughout that time some emails, just prompts, ideas to spur some creativity and inspiration. So we'll do our best to hold you accountable, but really this is all about you holding you accountable and betting on yourself, just like Michael Chandler said.
Do people want to do it?
Do people want to do it? Shawn wants to know, do the people want to do it? Do you want to do resiliency camp, 8 weeks, mind, body, spirit, accountability, where you push through, you choose your own adventure? Like, this is you choosing what makes sense for you.
You could just walk every day for 8 days. Oh yeah, I know what you. Is this what you thought I forgot?
No, it was accountability. James has something to say.
Michael only trains 5 days a week.
Oh no,
Michael only trains five days a week during camp. The other 2 days on the weekends, he goes home to be with family. Our resiliency challenge is set up the same way. It's not 8 straight weeks of doing, it's not 8 straight weeks of exercise.
Right. No.
That's not what we're
That's
saying.
hard. We
Not 8 straight
understand.
weeks of exercising twice a day. That's not that. But what it is it's 5 days of hardcore discipline. And then in the other 2 days, we're going to encourage you to focus on relationships.
Yep.
Like Michael goes
Mm.
home to be with his wife and his 2 children. So we're just going to model that. So we're going to focus on relationships on the 2 off days. It could be whatever off days you want. It could be Monday and Tuesday or your off days, whatever you want to do. 5 days, hardcore discipline, fighting for our lives. 2 days. Not that we just like scrap our disciplines,
Yep.
but 2 days where we literally focus on relationships.
Give me literally 30 minutes after we get off of this. I just got to
about literally 30
Yeah,
minutes.
30 minutes.
Okay.
I at least, but listen, 30 minutes for you to sign up. And then I will tell you the start date for all of you that sign up.
Did anybody say they want to do it?
Yeah, lots of
Oh,
people
4
said.
people?
So I want to capture you while you're excited.
Me and
while
those
you're
4
betting-
people,
bet-
we're going to do
betting
this.
on yourself. There's more than that, but it will be at bookyourselfsolid.com/resiliency camp. That's where you'll be able to go.
It's empty now.
But no, that's where they're going
We'll
to
send
be
an
able to
email
go.
out to everybody and a text out to everybody.
Everybody needs more
If
discipline.
you're our friend, we're going to
That's what
hit you
they're
up.
saying.
James wants to say something.
What do you want to say, James?
I was just gonna say I'm definitely in. There's people in the comments that are definitely in. I think this is a really cool idea, just because the community really loves Michael. I also believe that the community likes to challenge themselves, and you two are great at facilitating these types of things. So I think this is gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be really fun to watch him fight in November, whether it's in person or at home. And then everything in between now and then, as far as this idea of resiliency, body, mind, spirit, I think there's just going to be a ton of energy that I think Michael's going to have the benefit of having like behind him. So we'll get to contribute in that way. So as far as tonight's theme, simple ways to challenge yourself, doing something new like this, I think is a way that Shawn Lacey, the rest of the team and the community is challenging themselves. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we have reached more people the week before.
So many things.
And I know that James Randolph and Michael Chandler expect me to show up in New York at least 10, like sunken in, at least 10 pounds lighter, like looking like I'm ready to get in there and fight. Now, Michael's got to weigh 155. That's 30 pounds lighter. I was like, I'm not going to weigh 155. Can you imagine
10
what I look
pounds?
like at 155? I'd be
But that means that I have to partner with you on your body resiliency stuff because I'm the one that makes your food.
Yep.
So like just know that there might be other people that need to support you in this process to make all the things happen.
Hey,
That's
Michael was
okay.
like, Michael has told me I should eat those factor meals. I was like, I ain't eat those factor meals. He said, why not? You eat the same thing every day so you get to understand what that feels like. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing that. I got Lacey. Eat the factor.
And the only other piece that we don't have in place yet that we are going to discuss and figure out is where the online support community will be.
Yeah, Jackson Dietrich was telling me we should get it going on Discord. I've never done anything on
Mm.
Discord.
Yeah, we'll see.
You don't like Discord? You just you shut it down. Facebook, I don't think Facebook's not the thing anymore.
Yeah, people don't love it on Facebook, but we could do it on school.
We're opening a school just for this.
You can.
Jeez
I'm just
Louise.
saying.
Let's give away some money. Let's get out of here. All right, folks. $300.
Anyway, so that's how you can effectively challenge yourself. Join us in
we
resiliency
had
camp.
Dana Dilling. She won on the last episode.
Dana!
Congratulations, Dana. Dana, I'm sure, is going to be doing resiliency camp. She's one that commented when I initially floated that idea out there. Dana, you can win again. Your name's right back in it. We're testing this. Thank you for your patience. See how this thing works. That's
Let's
interesting
go.
there.
I like it.
We got no count. What are we doing,
little
James?
up, down.
Are you gonna
So-
yell when it's over, or how do we know?
I was just about to announce that. So we have the digital canasta like normal spin. Everyone in BYS and BDC, their name is in the digital canasta. And shout out to Matt Musgrave. For people who didn't know, Matt Musgrave was the one who actually put together the digital canasta for us
Oh,
to
yeah.
use.
Oh, thank you, Matt Musgrave. That's awesome.
Yeah, Matt Musgrave put this together for us ever since we started using it. And so there was one aspect that I couldn't bring over from our other software, which was the timer. but
Ah,
Matt is going to work some magic, and hopefully by next week or very soon, he will have the timer on the actual web page, and that way everything is going to be kosher. So, with that being said, we'll see the name pop up on the digital canasta, and then I have to switch to a separate 30-second countdown. I
oh,
tested
so you
it.
get like
Hopefully, it will work.
32 seconds depending on how quick James is, right?
And we just keep
Yes.
saying their name. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll keep saying their name.
Ooh, okay,
So
it's
we'll
gonna
we'll
be
see how it works. And we only got 3 names, so we'll see where it goes. But
we got this.
let's give it a try. All right, here we go. Oh, snap. Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Oh, Brooklyn. I
Brooklyn.
know she was on.
Oh, I'm not even gonna do the count.
For
Excited.
saving us.
Oh, good
I've got
job,
the
We,
gem-
Brooklyn.
we didn't even
Great
have to
showing
do
up.
the switching to the other screen. You saved us.
Cute.
Oh
That
my
thing
We got it.
Brooklyn,
I
300
know.
coming to you. All right.
I love that
Wow.
for Brooklyn. I know she shows up. She invested in herself. She's done the Book Yourself Solid mastermind with us. She came to Book Yourself Solid live. She's working on her business. She's taking great photos, and now she can give herself a little reward with that cashola.
Heck yeah, congratulations,
There
Brooklyn.
you
So great
go.
to see great people. I love how like the canasta knows. We haven't had people win that were like great people. The
It's because
canasta picks
nobody
great
in the
people.
canasta is not great.
That's true. That's true. But sometimes we have people that are in the canasta that like they have like weird names that
Could have been fake.
could have been fake. They're not fake.
They're
but
not fake. Could have been
sometimes
fake.
it's like somebody like is that well, I don't even know, but like I love when like we have the hyper engaged, hyper active people from the community winning.
Yep.
Love
I
it.
love it. Well, good. Well, congratulations, Brooklyn. And congratulations to all of you that have already decided to bet on yourselves and join us in resiliency camp. Be on the lookout. We'll send an email for, I know some of you are asking, where's the link? Where's the link? We'll send an
It's
email
coming. It's coming.
with a link with all the information, and you can sign up, and then we'll get going. But hey, if you want to get ahead of the game, start thinking about what would I need to do when it comes to mind, body, and spirit, so that I can create toughness and resiliency in those areas to endure anything that comes my way, even the failures, right? So again, those things are customized and personalized to what you need in your life.
I absolutely love it. I look forward to going through 8 weeks of camp, of training camp, resiliency camp with all of you who decide to jump in and do hard things with me. Super excited about it. We're standing in solidarity with Michael Chandler, cheering him on for November 16th. Big fight. Charles Oliveira, no slouch. It's not going to be easy, but nothing ever is that's worthwhile. And so we're challenging you to jump in with us and do some hard things. See what comes your way. Who knows? You might be putting yourself in line for the belt, whatever that means to
Hey.
you, whatever that means, whatever you're going for in life. Let's start training for that. Let's get resilient. Let's learn that losing is part of the process. Let's learn to face our losses so that we just rip the power right out of the paws of losing. We disempower losing. We start to empower ourselves to be winners because we do hard things consistently every single day. We keep showing up even when we get knocked down. That is the recipe to withstand just about anything. All right, everybody, let's do it again next week. Shawn and Lacey will be here live with you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, see ya.